On Tuesday, April 17, 2010, Democratic candidate for Governor Dan Onorato toured the Pennsylvania College of Technology's Marcellus Shale Education and Training Center in Williamsport.
For voting applications, we have 3 robots from 3 various manufacturers. Again, the diversity.
After the tour, Onorato held a brief press conference in which he laid out his vision for the development of the natural gas drilling industry in Pennsylvania. His main theme? The great economic gains that could come as the result of expanding gas drilling have to be balanced against the risks the activity poses both to the environment and local infrastructure.
This is a living example of what exactly we need to be doing with retraining and training our men and women for jobs in Pennsylvania, and particularly the Marcellus Shale, a phenomenon that's taken place, and it really, as we were talking, a generational change that's taken place here, and this is going to affect the next generation for a long time. The Marcellus Shale is one of those industries that we get one chance to get it right. And if we get it right, it's going to be great for Pennsylvania. But we have to make sure that we plan for it, we're prepared for it, and we take advantage of it. As I run for governor, today's 11 weeks until the election, and I crisscross the state, one of the themes of my campaign is focusing on making sure that both tech schools, colleges, 4-year degrees, community colleges, that curriculums match the needs of our companies. Because this race is about jobs. And when you're looking at over 9% unemployment in the Commonwealth, jobs will be the focus of my campaign and of my administration. And one of the things I discovered running the 2nd largest county in Allegheny County, which we have a community college and some both tech schools, is that when you can match the curriculums to the needs of the companies today and tomorrow, you have a much better chance of having people coming out and getting a job immediately. The Marcellus Shale provides us with a unique opportunity. If you look at all the reports coming out, and I know Penn State did a report, and you hear anywhere from 80,000 jobs on the low end to 200,000 jobs on the high end. Either way, they're both big numbers. 80,000 jobs. Let's start on the low end. 80,000 jobs would be a lot of jobs, and these are good paying jobs. And one of the things that I've talked about with Marcellus Shale, and I'd like to talk about it again today, is that what I would do with the industry as governor. I do support a reasonable severance tax for the industry, and here's exactly what I would do with the money. One, I would make sure that the Department of Environmental Protection is fully funded. It took a 28% cut in the last 2 budgets. You need a Department of Environmental Protection to make sure we're watching the water quality and making sure we're watching the environment. The severance tax can help pay for that. I would also fund an impact fund, which would be for municipalities, like where we're standing today. There's going to be a lot of wear and tear on our infrastructure from this industry, water lines, sewer lines, streets. This money will be for municipalities that deal with their infrastructure and what's happening with the Marcellus Shale industry as it moves the trucks around and moves product out of here and product in. And then thirdly, I would do a Grow and Greener 3 fund. And Governor Ridge, Governor Rendell, they both did this, and I would use the severance tax to help fund a Grow and Greener 3. And that would allow us to preserve farmland, preserve open space, and to have money to invest in old brownfield sites. But there's a 4th component of Marcellus Shale that I always talk about, and that is the 80,000 jobs plus. As governor, I'm prepared to work with the industry and to give permits for the drilling, but I want an understanding up front that the jobs that they're projecting in Pennsylvania, they're going to hire Pennsylvanians. We do not need to be bringing in people from all over the country, particularly from Oklahoma and Texas. We got to make sure they're going to hire Pennsylvanians. And the best way to make sure they hire Pennsylvanians is if we have a steady trained workforce for that particular industry. That's what you saw here today. Right now, this facility was obviously here before Marcellus Shale, but it was in a unique position to start the training. And if you go through here and you look at the young men and women that are being trained, and you see the coordination between the Pennsylvania College of Technology and the Marcellus Shale companies, so that there is a connection between the curriculum and the jobs that are out there. They're actually training people for the jobs that are there today. And they're talking directly with the companies on what exactly the companies need. So there's absolutely no reason why we don't capture those 80 to 200,000 jobs from this industry by putting Pennsylvanians back to work. This is gas that's in our state. It's a natural resource for this state. And the way to make this a win-win situation for us is to get the jobs to come with this industry. And the training that's happening here today is exactly what we need to be doing throughout the Commonwealth so that we are providing a steady flow of trained individuals. And what's unique about here is it's everything. If you were on the tour, it's everything from entry-level jobs that might require as little as 3 weeks, as they call it, boot camp training for the initial entry into the industry, all the way up to 4-year degree for the advanced technical part of the industry. They cover the whole broad spectrum here of all the training that the industry needs. So there is real training facilities currently up and operating, and if we continue to work with the industry to provide them with the trained individuals they need, you're going to see unemployment start to come down in the state driven by this particular industry. I heard an interesting stat from somebody on the tour today that they're dealing with 40 different Marcellus Shale companies that weren't even in Pennsylvania 2 years ago. These are 40 companies, brand new companies operating in the state that weren't here 2 years ago. This is a game changer, this industry. And it comes with risks. And that's why when I describe what I would do as governor, it balances the risk, funding the Department of Environmental Protection, making sure we're properly monitoring the environment and the effects of the water and what's happening. And also, on the other end, making sure we get the jobs out of the industry as it grows. We can make this work in an environmentally safe way, and I'm going to prepare to do that. Well, the answer is yes. We definitely need the wastewater treatment facilities, and I will assist in getting and building those because, first of all, they will be public entities, and if we do it the right way, not only will it help with the treatment of the wastewater coming out of the Marcellus Shale industry, it could also help us provide real wastewater treatment for other industries and for homes and for areas that don't have these types of facilities. It could be a nice economic engine with a real asset to provide for companies that want to be here. It's number one. And number two, I also made it clear as governor, the public has a right to know and needs to know what chemicals are in the solution. Because secrecy is no way to operate, and it only festers skepticism and fear. And I think it's important you put everything on the table, what exactly is in there, make sure that's properly treated so the public understands what's exactly happening. And that's why DEP is important to be funded so they have the personnel to watch and monitor exactly what we're talking about. I'm not sure what you said at the beginning is accurate, that there's no facilities up and running. I'm not sure that's quite accurate, but the point is we're going to need more of them, regardless of where. That's why I want the Department of Environmental Protection at least funded. So we have expertise in the field to answer those kind of questions. I don't know about you, I'm not an expert in on determining water quality, and I'd much rather hear from the experts. Let them look at it and tell us exactly what's happening out there. And the best way to do that is to have a fully up and operating Department of Environmental Protection, and I would rely and look at my department to give us recommendations of what's real, what's not real, what are the risks, and what's the best way to mitigate those risks. Well, they are involved. They are involved with the EPA, but right now, as governor, I'm going to be working with my DEP. And I think we should be setting the standards and the tone for what Pennsylvania needs. And the best way to do that is to have a real Department of Environmental Protection. And that's why, again, it's in my proposal. So